the start of a new week and a new day. My name is Henry Igwebike, and I welcome you to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from the economic hub of Nigeria, Enterprise Television, that is. So let's kickstart today with our newspapers, and right after that will be our main conversation also for today. Please do well to be part of what we do. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We're very so honored to have joining us today via Zoom from Lagos State, Nigeria, Dr. Olayinka Oyegbile. He is an educationist and also a public affairs analyst. Thank you so very much, Doctor, for being here. We really do appreciate you.
Thank you very much. It's also always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so very much, Doctor, for your time. And with us right here in our studios is Mr. Innocent Adolugba. He is a journalist and public affairs analyst. Thank you so very much, Innocent.
My pleasure to be here.
Thank you. All right, so let's start off today, interestingly, with the Guardian newspaper for this morning. We have many interesting stories here, so many of them. I just hope we have enough time to look at this and more. But let's just get to other matters here. 2.37 trillion data expenses compete with food orders as Nigerians ration usage of internet connection. And still on other matters here, defections. Wike joins PDP governors meeting in last-ditch effort to save the party. Doctor, let's take a look at this particular matter. It's actually very, very strange and at the same time comical that Wike, who works for the APC, whom had been alleged to have contributed to what we have with the remnants of the PDP right now, is joining force with the same PDP to save the same PDP while working with the APC. What do you have to say of this?
It shows the toothlessness of the NWC or the highest decision-making body of the PDP, because you cannot hunt with the hare and still dine with the how do they say? He's running with the hare and hunting with the this. So Wike, I don't know what hold he has on the PDP, that the PDP has found it difficult to kick him out of the party. I don't know what contribution he's making to the party. Rather, he's like a mole, if you like, in the party for the APC. So I don't understand. I've said this several times. Why should Wike be allowed to sit at the decision table of the PDP? Yes, he might not have resigned his membership of the party, but he's neither a bat nor a bird. I mean, he's like a bat. He's not an animal and he's not a bird. So where does he belong? Why is he so powerful in the PDP that the PDP has found it difficult to kick him out of the party? Is there a secret that he holds about the party? Is it his money? Yes, we understand. When he was a governor and when every other person was jumping ship from the PDP, he held forth. And it was his money, the state's money, as a governor of Rivers State, that he was using to hold the party together. But now, he's no longer a governor. He's just a minister and appointee at the pleasure of the president. The president can tomorrow decide to kick him out if he wants, which I doubt. But then, as a party, you have a frontline member who has been running with the hare and hunting with the hunt, running in your party, pretending he still belongs to your party, and you don't have the balls to kick him out. I mean, I wish we were back in the politics of the Second Republic, where people like the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Wazir Ibrahim, or Nnamdi Azikiwe, and so on, were leaders of parties. They will have kicked him out by now, no matter what. And that is the reason why we must go back to that old system. The party must be owned by members, not some money bags. The PDP is holding on to him or allowing him to do what he's doing because he's one of the money bags spending money, people's money, not his own personal money. Because I don't know Wike to have a factory or an industry that will give him money. But it is government money, people's money that he's using. So, I mean, I don't understand why the party still allows him to sit with them. He shouldn't be kicked out. That's my honest opinion. And I'm in fact getting pissed off talking about this. I've said it several times at different fora. I don't understand what Wike is still doing in PDP or why PDP is still tolerating him.
Very, very true, Doctor. Innocent Atulu, but there's no gainsaying, obviously, that Yeltsin Wike, just like Doctor had said, is looking more like a mole planted to destroy the PDP. Especially with Ganduji saying that there's nothing wrong with a one-party state. And if it's possible that Nigeria should run with a one-party state. With Wike, of course, assuming or pretending he is saving the PDP. What's your take on this?
I am aligned with the doctor. Wike is a lucky man. I've always said it. The Minister of the FCT, Minister Nyesom Wike, is somebody who the PDP have refused to help him settle in APC two-footedly.
And why do you think it's the case? Why do you think it's been difficult for the PDP to help him settle?
Well, I'm looking at the roll call from the media. About 12 serving governors or more were there, and over 15 former governors. If you ask me, more formidable than the incumbent. Look at those present as the incumbents we have from Bauchi, Bala Mohammed, Agbu Kefas from Taraba, Ahmad Fintiri from Adamawa. There is also Adeleke from Oshu, Governor Umoeno, Governor Peter Mbaye Enugu, Caleb Muftuang Plateau, Shei Makinde Oyo, and then the Bayelsa Deputy Governor Lawrence Ehuru Jakpo. Of all of these, if I am to analyze, I would say possibly by geographical contiguity or ethnic leaning, I would tick Sheyi Makinde as somebody inclined, because it tells us the PDP is a party that is not standing, it is leaning. And it is leaning towards the APC. With the body language we are seeing. I want to believe the Senate President is an excellent political fisherman who can fish his governor Umoeno into the APC. You know, Enugu, I don't know, they are lukewarm.
No, he's a very good friend of the president, so there's no.
So no, you can be friend and still be in your party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So it's beyond just being friend. You have to be sure-footed where you stand. You understand me? So what's this man now? The Plateau governor.
Muftuang.
Yes, I want to believe. I don't know, but I want to believe the Plateau crisis can be negotiated.
Definitely.
As APC membership being a panacea for curbing that. And you know, like President Buhari would say, the Southeast didn't vote him, so he cannot go there and tar roads. These are roads from the coffers of the Federation, but it is wielded at the might, at the whim of the president. So President Tinubu and all the security chiefs are seizing security from intervening in Plateau State. Possibly when the governor dances to their tune, he will get it. You can see the effectiveness of the security in Kwara compared to Benue or Plateau. Now, the former governors who were there, Sam Egu from Ebonyi, and we know that Ebonyi already have APC complexion. The Minister of the Works, now what's his name? The former governor, of Ebonyi State.
Okay, Omahi, Dave Omahi.
Dave Omahi.
Umahi.
He's already so I want to tick Ebonyi already. Lee Limoke, the former governor, penultimate before Professor Ayade, they are already in the APC camp.
yeah.
So that's why I said the PDP is not a standing party. It's leaning. It's not going to fall. It's leaning in the direction of APC. We have Ahmed Makarfi, a former Kaduna governor. Already, Kaduna is in
It's
an APC state. Okezekpa Azu, I want to believe he's the only governor there that is in limbo. Because the party he left, the state he left, his party did not succeed him.
Well, a very good friend of Yason Wike.
So he must be the most fluid. And in football, they will tell you anywhere belief is. You know, a stubborn man there is a Samuel Autumn from Benue, who, unless he gets influence, we know he's an unrepentant hater or anti-APC. My surprise, let me go down, is that names like Aminu Tambowal, names like Bukola Saraki, names like Ibrahim Shekarau were at that meeting. So these are formidable Nigerians tolerating the Minister Nyesom Wike political nomadism. You know, like a doctor have said, pitch your tent in one place, and there is a farce, there is a parody, there is a fallacy to the media report that Minister Nyesom Wike meets to help
the sinking PDP.
That help,
Which is actually,
is delicious poison. It's delicious poison.
You see, the truth of the matter here is, you know, we are unfortunately living at a time when it seemed to us that we're moving, but we're actually not going anywhere. What exactly it is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had, the antidote exactly that he had placed in the mouths of everyone, is what we cannot actually understand or grasp, you know, how that works. And from that story to yet another one from the Punch newspaper, why Jonathan won't run against Tinubu in 2027. That's coming from Patience Jonathan. Doctor, from one defection to another, when Nigerians were thinking that possibly Mr. Goodluck Jonathan, former president, might be the best one right now, knowing what we experienced during his days, Nigeria was relatively okay. We were thinking that maybe there could be a possibility for him to come finish up. Right now, the wife is saying that she would rather pitch her tent with the president. Speak to me.
For all we know, President Goodluck Jonathan is not a man that will help another man to fight his fight. What do I mean? Those who are shopping for a southern candidate now are doing that, thinking that they want to know, or thinking that yes, the North has had these 8 years, and therefore the South must have its own 8 years too. So Tinubu is doing the first 4 years, and if they want to defeat Tinubu, they will look for a southern candidate. And in looking for a southern candidate, they will not go for a candidate that will be eligible for
A second term.
Because going for a candidate that will be eligible for a second term will mean that he might come in the same way President Jonathan came in when Yaradua died.
Yeah.
You know, when Yaradua died, the agreement, the sort of agreement with the North was that President Goodluck Jonathan was going to finish up Yaradua's term and also run another full term of 4 years and yield the seat to the North.
Yeah.
However, when President Goodluck Jonathan got there, either because, as the Yoruba would say, no person will have honey put in his mouth and throw it away. Honey is so sweet. So is power. So President Jonathan got there and he said no. He has to contest for a second term. In fact, his people, I remember very clearly well, some of the militants in the Niger Delta vowed that if he fails to contest, he should never come back to Niger Delta. So, owing to all that, President Goodluck Jonathan breached the agreement, whether written or non-written, I don't know, of not running for a second term, and he tried to run for a second term, which led to the defection of so many some northern governors and other governors to APC and the formation of APC, which brought in Buhari in 2015. So for Mrs. Jonathan to now say that they are not interested in coming back, and they didn't forget anything, I think it's just into that into that feat. So I don't see it as important. I know it is pay me, I'll pay you back. That's all. So I know.
Right, I think we're having a little bit of a glitch there. I just sincerely hope that Doctor would come back and finish up on that particular thought. But while we wait for him to do that, Innocent Adoluba, that is yet another blow to Nigerians when we thought we would have seen a messiah
from Dr. Goodluck
Dr.
Jonathan.
Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
I think Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan got politically mature after leaving office.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he got politically wiser after his defeat. And one of the things that can save Nigeria is the thing that is not happening.
And what exactly is it?
Is silence. I was hopeful that when the pastor vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, went there, he will say certain truths to Nigeria. But I don't know if it's by oath or I don't know what it is. People go into governance, they tell you they see a lot that they cannot see. You know. So possibly President Ebele Goodluck Jonathan Emeritus is wiser now. As Mrs. Jonathan says, Dame Jonathan, it's payback time for the help received during the 2011 presidential election. Notice that at that time, Dr. Ebele Goodluck Jonathan just completed the remainder of the tenure of late Umar Musa Yar'Adua. Yeah, you know. So, and at that time too, this party with President Tinubu was the ACN.
Okay.
I think those who would have been the day they were muting the measure with CPC and other minor. So President Tinubu, astute, smart, would see that. I mean, there was no might in challenging President, the PDP at the time, as compared to the position they are now. What marvels me is the respected PDP at one time was shoulder to shoulder with the African National Congress, the ANC of South Africa, at the pace they were taking Nigeria.
Yes,
possibly in the heydays or at the peak of the powers of President Olusegun Obasanjo post 1999. So are the PDP trained just to be a ruling party? Because what some of the characteristics of political parties, you aspire as a political party to assemble men and resources to capture state power.
Okay.
And administer governance. That's the priority. In case that doesn't happen, a political party must position strategically to fight as opposition. Sensitizing the masses, carrying out activities that will prepare the masses to re-elect you at any other opening for election. Is very typical in the UK. It's very typical. And the way the House sits, the House of Commons and the House. It's a frontal, you know the frontal rainfall.
It's a battle.
It's a collision of headwinds.
Yes.
Nothing is hidden. Everything is laid bare. We've seen Justin Trudeau in Canada being toppled by the opposition. So is the PDP shy? Is the PDP deficient of opposition strategies? Do you understand? If the APC are in power, what can help Nigerians is how prolific the PDP are in opposition strategies to keep the incumbent party in power on their toes.
Well, that cannot be possible knowing the nature of politics that we play in Nigeria. A stomach structure kind of politics. It's not a politics of ideology. This would work if such politics is a politics of ideology. Don't you think so, Doctor?
Henry,
yes, Doctor.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
I think what is happening is that PDP is suffering from what might be called a withdrawal syndrome. From 1999 to 2015, 16 years, they were in power. And they lived in power as a party that would never be defeated. They lived in a dream that they were going to rule Nigeria for 60 years. The 60 was cut down to 16. Therefore, that withdrawal syndrome caught up with them. They can't live or survive as opposition party. And they are peopled by men without balls. The same way the APC worked very effectively as an opposition party. Now they are in power. They are in disarray. Don't be deceived. The disarray does not mean that because every other lackluster person from PDP is coming into APC, then they are powerful. No. APC in power today is confused because they don't know what to do with power. They anchored for power, they got it, they don't know what to do with it. Because if APC knows what to do with it, Nigeria will not be in the situation we are in today. How much was a bag of rice when APC came in 2015? How much is it today? But the PDP has been so much in shambles that they cannot mount an effective opposition and articulate their views and ideas. They are all filled up with people who are just after grabbing power and nothing else. If you look at the history of Nigeria, the price of food, fuel, and everything has gone up under APC more than any party that has ever ruled Nigeria. Has anything happened? Has there been any protest? No. There have not been any protest because the protesters are the one in power today. Why is the PDP so disorganized that they can't form a viable opposition against the APC? If it were to be PDP that is in power and Nigeria is in the situation it is in today, the APC will not allow the PDP to rest. Unfortunately, the PDP, as I said, is suffering from a withdrawal syndrome. Therefore, they cannot even coordinate their thoughts to say anything concrete about the APC. Rather, they are falling apart and running into the party, running into the APC, not because they want to rescue Nigeria, but because they want to rescue themselves. And I hope Nigerians understand that. That is exactly what is happening, and that is the way I see it. I know those who are in the APC ship will not agree with me, but I know exactly that is what is happening. And I believe many Nigerians agree with me. The APC took the price of fuel from about 120 naira or so per liter from what Jonathan left it, and took it to 500 or thereabout. There were no protests. Everybody just come and believed in APC that, okay, they meant very well. And here we are today.
Very, very true, Doctor. It's actually very sad, to hear some of these things because the APC was a very strong opposition, and one would wonder if Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was very instrumental to the strength of the APC, if we could have someone else like that, or if there is someone else like that with the PDP to make that possible. It's a talk for another day. But of course, we have more than 20 plus months to 2027. Lots of things can change. For some of you who are political pundits, you've concluded that 24 hours is too much of a time.
In politics, yes.
Yes, too much of a time for something to happen. So let's just hope and see if our 24 hours, would maybe give rise to an opposition that might possibly, take the power of the APC. But let's take a look at the Daily Trust newspaper for today. Ganduje under fire over one-party state comments, and Haneze, Afenifere, NPP, Fage, others react to this particular matter. Innocent Aduluba. I had cited that as a part of the little thing that I talked about. Ganduje under fire over the one-party state comment, which of course tilts towards the same thing we're talking about, state capture. It's been so normalized now that in Nigeria, we can just stand and watch when someone would say that one-party state is what is good enough for Nigeria. How bad has it?
Multipartism. And in
theory.
Well, and in multi-party system, more than one political party rules or are players in the political space. Now, secondly, Nigeria is, we have diverse ethnic group. We are a multi-ethnic enclave. And so one party system cannot serve the purpose of Nigerian unity. That's what I would say. Now, thirdly, the inclination, the body languages of Nigeria rejects one-party system because it will encourage bad rule. It's one party is, it leads to victimization of opposition groups because certain things will happen unchallenged. Look at what we were discussing just before we got here. The opposition party throws up credible debate, brings up options, alternatives that positions the choice, that broadens the choices for the masses. But where you have a one-party system, it's undemocratic. It leads to a dictatorship. And if we go theoretically, a one-party leviathan, like a behemoth, a monster too big for people to confront, a Goliath. The APC, from this analysis, if you ask me, Doctor has told us that they seem not to know, that rapper, Heavy D. Now that we found love, what are we going to do with it? Now that APC have won, what are they doing with the power? Now that PDP have lost, what are they doing as opposition? Should APC be perennial in the opposition and PDP perennially ruling? No. And that is why one party comment by Ganduje, the man with the nickname attached to that foreign currency, is not a comely statement. Why? Because if you are from the southeast, like he mentioned the regionalism, from the offshoot of Nigerian political history, the ethnics bond together and trust each other more. That's why you could have a Southwest. That's why you could have a Northern People's Congress versus the Action Group. I doubt if at that time there was a strong person from Kaduna or Kano that was active in the Action Group. I doubt it. Or somebody living in Calabar or Owerri who was a strong member of the Northern People's Congress. So whether we admit it or not, the political part, if you go, it's not just Nigeria, they have ethnicity. If you go to Scotland, there are little parties along ethnic lines, and Ganduje's statement is justifying mediocrity. You are in, and that is why defection is rampant. I've said it. The reason I voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be president is because I love the APC party. The reason I voted for Peter Obi to be president is because I love Labour Party. Should President Tinubu or any elected politician from local government, House of Assembly, Senate, governor, should anybody decamp, they've abused my trust and support for that party label. Every political party is a label of identity for that group during election, where people carry their vote to cast and determine representation. I don't know if some of these people need to be schooled again. It is political participation that gives birth to political representation. By the time everybody who were voted at election to represent turns around and then go back to the party, the masses refuse to vote into victory. I don't know. Every elected Nigerian politician, if for any reason, whether your party is on fire, if you left your party, you will leave that portfolio. If we put it that way, we won't even see defection. You will stay back, look, and quench the fire in your party. But you see, as soon as, and this is the height of open corruption, the use of public offices for private gain. Is because a party is in power, we don't know the details of the inducement. Look, if we want to be pedestrian, if we want to be ordinary, the APC cannot win the 2027 presidential election because 4 governors defected into the APC. Why? If we want to be ordinary, it is 4 votes. 4 governors, 4 votes. But behind the corruption wagon, that governor wields a lot of influence, sits atop vast resources, is mobilizing. There is the loyalty from INEC factor that people are alluding. There is the Agberu factor. There are many factors. And that's why in 2025, Nigeria is still primitive as regards the election. The last one was the Edo one where Monday Okwebolo emerged. You will still hear the snatch ballot. You still hear they are shooting. All of that are elements of primitivity. In 2025, where other countries have moved, we are here to achieve electricity. So that comment from Ganduje, I dare say on this table, warrants a national apology to the democratic construction of Nigeria.
Very, very true. Doctor, just before we leave on this particular segment, I'd love to ask you, because there's a reason I said that the multi-party system we have is more theoretical than it is practical. How is it that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had demystified what we have today? He visited Anambra, and Chukwuma Soludo of the ABGA party willingly said they were going to ensure that he wins Anambra State. So it is across the board. Even in Akwa Ibom State, Governor Moeno, who is with the PDP, has assured the president that Akwa Ibom State is going for the APC. So is the multi-party system we have not theoretical, and Ganduje stating the fact that we are trying to deny or run away from?
Well, Ganduje has a right to wish for a one-party state because he's the chairman of a ruling party. And in politics, you don't throw people away. You call more people to your camp. So I don't have any problem with him wishing that Nigeria becomes a one-party state. But the truth of the matter is that we are the one, or Nigerians are the one, who will make sure Nigeria doesn't turn into a one-party state. And I don't have that fear. I don't think what we are seeing being displayed is what President Tinubu has always been credited with, that is a master political strategist. He has been going around, traveling around. The governor of Anambra State, the governor of Cross River State are all governors with their eyes on a second term. And from their crystal ball, they've seen that it is either I support the president or am voted out, that vote in quotes. So, to save their skin, in line with what I said earlier on, these governors are doing this principally to save themselves. It is not to save democracy or to entrench democracy. They all have their eyes on a second term. And they have looked at the crystal ball. They've seen that if they don't support the president, we have always been saying it, the Nigerian president is the most powerful president anywhere in the world. Even much more powerful than the president of America. Why? The president is the one that approves the DG of every, no matter how inconsequential the parastatal is in Nigeria, as long as it is owned by the federal government, it is the president that approves that. So why will anybody not be beholden to such a president? So, as far as I'm concerned, Umo Eno, Soludo, and the rest of them, they are only looking for a sure or soft landing for themselves for a second term. So that's why they said, oh, we are going to mobilize all our resources to make sure our people support you. Are they going to do that also for the APC candidates in their states? No. They are only supporting the president to win because they know that the president, with the help of INEC or whatever, can push them off the saddle of power. So they are only being nice or being diplomatic to say that, Mr. President, I'm supporting you, make sure I also win my second term. That is it.
Very, very true.
For a one-party state, the fault is the fault of PDP. When Tinubu was the only ACN governor remaining, did it defect to PDP or any other party? No. The same Tinubu was tried by the Code of Conduct Tribunal under President Goodluck Jonathan. So if we say that the vice presidential candidate of the PDP in the last election, Okowa, had a case to answer with EFCC, and therefore that's why he jumped to APC, which the former chairman of the party and now a senator, Oshiomhole, has promised that if you join our party, all your sins are forgiven. Is that enough? Is that not also a way for Okowa to save his skin?
Yeah, very true.
Tinubu didn't jump from ACN to PDP or any other party when he was tried by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. He was a lone man standing, and he built the party to what it is today, to fuse along with other parties and become APC. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to blame the president or blame the APC chairman. They are looking for members. They want the party to be the most dominant party in Nigeria. And all the other party members are men and women without balls who are falling on their heels to protect their own skin and join the APC. That's all.
All right, Doctor.
The APC chairman is only doing what any party chairman would want to do.
All right, I think it's very also apt. What we have today in Nigeria are lazy politicians who are not actually positioned to get dirty, in the race or in the struggle of politicking in Nigeria. Everybody wants to wear that white robe without stain on it, so they can, of course, have their day and their way anytime and any place. Well, let's just leave it at that for now. Just let you know, Dr. and Innocent Adodoba possibly will be here to take us on our main conversation. That's when we return. Law firm demands the cancellation of JAMB results and threaten a suit. That in the beat is still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.